In Google Classroom, we have this cross-section tool. And the first thing we're going to look at is a rectangular prism. This is a rectangular prism.
Isn't it just a rectangle 3D?
Okay, yes. It's a three-dimensional rectangle, which is what we call a rectangular prism. Okay? It is two rectangles, top and bottom, enclosed by more rectangles. That's what a rectangular prism is. So we're looking at right now, you can grab it and you can spin it around and look to see how it's sliced. That's the cross section right there. You can see how it's sliced through. And you can move it around and see. We can also change the slice to a vertical just by flipping right there, and then you can spin it around and see what shape do we get. The rectangle, yeah, right. Now look at this though, we can then go halfway. What shape do we got now? From this perspective, it's kind of tricky to tell, isn't it? So if I click View from Section, it shows me what exactly the cross-section or the slice looks like. It's a rectangle, yes. But I could change it a little more and rotate it like this. Now, what cross-section do you think it looks like? If I move it, oh, what shape I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided figure. 6-side is a hexagon. Hexagon is 6. Pentagon is 5. Octagon is 8. 7 is heptagon. Hept. All right. You guys get the challenge of trying to slice a triangle. Get a triangle slice. So you got to use these tools over here to try and spin your slice, your cross section, to get a triangle. Go. All right, so what I have to do is I have to move this. If I move it, then it shows me that I'm slicing off like that corner.
Oh, I did it.
See what I'm doing with I'm moving it, slicing off that corner. Not quite got it yet, so we will go down a little bit right there, and
I did it.
I did it, I did it, I did it, yay. See how that works? So I just cut off a corner. All right. Now, let's go back. We're going to go back to horizontal. All right, look at what we got. Here's our cross section. Now here's what you're going to have on your homework. You will have some questions where it will give you dimensions like this. They'll say that this length is 10, the width is 5, and the height of the prism is 20. So now they'll say, okay, well, if that is the dimensions of the entire prism, what would the dimensions be of just that cross section, the slice?
10.
Eyes should all be up front there. So we are going to take this rectangle. That's what image we get out of the section, right? what would the dimensions be?
5.
So here's what I do. I just look, say this is the length or the width, and then I follow that down, right? So it's 5. And then the other one is this measurement, which goes down to 10. So it's 5 by 10. 20 is the height of the whole prism. And so since it's a horizontal slice, we wouldn't use the 20. If it was a vertical slice, then we would use the 20. So let's slice it vertically. Now, what did I say? 10, 5, and 20. So now what would the dimensions be of my slice? 5 and 20, right? 20 by 5. Because we got this, which is 5, and we got the height still, which is 20. We could also, they could have this turned and rotated this way, right? So then our dimensions would change again, wouldn't they? All right. Let's look at triangular prisms. Now so over on the left, click on triangular prisms. Triangular prism is, remember I said a prism has rectangles around the sides? We call those faces. These are faces that close in to triangles. That's why we call it a triangular prism. So we get a horizontal slice, we get a triangle, right? What if I got a vertical slice? What shape do I get? You get a rectangle. Okay, now, what if, so that's this is our vertical slice. Now, what if I give you dimensions? What if I say that the sides of the triangles are 10, that the height of the prism is 15? Do you have enough information to tell me what the dimensions of the rectangular slice is?
Yeah.
You think so? Well, let's look. If I come down here and click View from Section, it's going to show me what it looks like. What's wrong with that cross section? It doesn't take up the whole dimensions of that rectangle, does it? See, look at this. Where I cut that, it is above the base rectangle right there. So therefore, we don't know what the dimensions would be. All right, so you got to be careful on some of these. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has got 5 sides, so you could theoretically get a slice that is a pentagon, which is 5 sides. There's your challenge. Go. Can you slice a pentagon out of this, which is a 5-sided figure?
No.
No, you can't. You can rotate vertically, horizontally. You can rotate on all different levels. You can actually even move your slice around too. So if I grab this, I can move that plane when I'm chopping it to the left or right or up or down.
Becky. No, I don't know how to do this.
Anybody get it? I got some candy to give away here, so. Who got it? Let me see. Click. Oh, click view from cross section. Is that, did you?
Yeah.
That's not the right. I know, but that's not a triangular prism. Oh. I just lost my battery. No, because it's not a triangular prism.
But it's still 5 sides.
Got it?
5 sides?
Yeah. If you don't, I have one more piece.
Oh, can I do it again?
No.
How many sides is that? 5.
Well, that's one short of 5.
How do you do this?
I don't know.
Click view from section. And then it'll show you what exactly. So you've got a rectangle. We want to try and get a pentagon. Did you actually do this?
He did.
Why is yours blue? You change your colors?
Oh, yeah.
What did I do? I just ruined it, didn't I? Is it 5 sides? I don't know. You don't know how to count to 5.
Oh no,
All right, see, here's what I do is I just kind of turn these. I don't want to go up and down that way. I want to rotate this. Then I'll rotate this. And then if I click view from section, it'll show me all the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got it. And then you can spin it around and see. That slice goes through part of each side.
No, that's 4 5.
It's tricky, isn't it?
wait, I got it. Oh, I got it. Wait, no, that's 4.
Did you get it?
I made a house. I did it again.
All right, ready to move on to the next one?
No.
No, you want to try and get it?
If you get it, you won't get it.
All right, let's do pyramids. So let's look at a rectangular pyramid. Off to the left-hand side, click on rectangular pyramids. The left-hand side, rectangular pyramids. Well, just click on one that says pyramids and cones, then rectangular pyramids.
Oh, I did.
All right, so now here's you have something like this on your homework. It'll say the dimensions of this pyramid are 11, 6, and the height of the whole thing we'll say is 20. Now, what do we know about that rectangle slice? What? It's what? It's going to be half of what? Okay, you're on the right track. We don't know exactly how much less it will be. We just know that it's going to be smaller than the 6 by 11 bottom, right? So on your assignment, you have 3 options. One is 6 by 11. You know it's not going to be 6 by 11. One's going to be bigger than 6 by 11. Well, it didn't get bigger, did it? It got smaller. So you just pick the one that's smaller than 6 by 11. All right? It's going to be the same shape, just smaller. And we know that because I can click on this view from section. Boom. And it shows me it's the same shape as the bottom, but it's just smaller, right? Okay. What if I go vertically? Look at mine. What shape did I get from my vertical slice? It's a trapezoid. Look, why is it a trapezoid, not a triangle? Because if you look right here, I don't have it going right through that apex, the peak, do I? So now if I move it over, if I slide it over, now what is my cross section? Now it's a triangle. Okay. Okay, let's see, there's 4 or 5 sides on this. You should be able to get a pentagon on this too. So try and get a pentagon slice on this one.
I did it.
All right, so you guys, if you want to keep playing around with that, you're more than welcome to try and challenge yourself to get the different shapes on that. There's a couple on the homework that I wanted to go through because, did I ask?
Oh!
Okay. All right. We've got, just like we talked about, hey, I'm talking. We have some like this that I just talked about. You got to figure out what are the dimensions based on the dimensions of the whole thing. Several of those rectangular prisms. Number 9 is the one I'm jumping to. All right, number 9. It's got 2 parts. Extremely important to pay close attention on this because it is an estimation question. Usually when it says estimation, they don't want you to have to use a calculator. They want you to estimate it. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what are the dimensions of this rectangle slice. It's 5.9 by, this one right here was up here, so that would be 8, right? So I click on that, 5.9 by 8. Then it would say, okay, what is the, I can't remember the wording. Let me look here. Final check. Okay. Now look at what it says. It says the area of the horizontal cross section is about what? So they wanted us to round, but they want us to round before we multiply. Does it say anywhere on there to round before you multiply? No. That's why I'm telling you right now. So we're going to take the 5.9, round that to 6, and then multiply. 6 times 8 is, so then my answer would be 48. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You also have some, like, this is the one I was talking about earlier. So here is my prism. It's 12 by 8 on the bottom. Everybody look up here. It's 12 by 8 on the bottom. So this cross section we know is going to be smaller or bigger than the bottom? Smaller. So my options are, it says 12 by 8. A says 12 by 8. No, it can't be the exact same size. B says 3 by 2.
Yeah.
That could be. Let's look at C. Says 15 by 10. That's bigger than the bottom, right? So there's no way that can work. So it's got to be B. And then you have some with no pictures. So they're just describing what you should do. So it says the base of a right rectangular pyramid. So come back here and go right rectangular pyramid. That's this. This is a right rectangular pyramid. And it says to slice it. It is a cross section that could be formed by a horizontal plane. So horizontal means I come up here and change it to horizontal. And then now you got a visual of what they're talking about. So feel free to use this tool to help you when they don't give you a visual. And then question 19 is, it does not say it's a challenge question, but it's kind of a challenge question. Anybody know the formula for finding the area of a triangle? What is it? Remember?
We're finding a triangle.
Area of a triangle. That's what they're giving us up here, right? This is the area of a triangle, 114 square yards.
Isn't that 3 times 4 times 5?
That would be the volume of a rectangular prism. What?
So you do the base of the triangle, right?
I asked, what is the area? What is the formula for finding the area of a triangle? You remember? I am not sure why I'm seeing so many people clicking around on computers on other things, especially not what we're doing in math. Really starting to frustrate me. And we wonder why our scores aren't very good. Kind of got to pay attention to what we're doing. Do you know? Close. We're going to call it base times height. Base times height is the area of a rectangle. So a triangle is what? Remember, a triangle is half of any rectangle. So it's 1/2 times base times height. So you're actually going to use this formula to help you find the height, but you're going to end up having to use some algebraic skills, T-charts, to figure out the height. If you can't figure it out, don't stress. It won't be on the quiz, but we had a quiz on Monday.
What?
Yeah. But give it a try. All right, the remainder of the time is yours to work.
Answer 45.